Appreciate you guys for tapping into the call this afternoon. The date is December 17th. We're literally on that final stretch for the year. And, as I was saying previously, I just want to encourage everybody to keep your foot on the gas. You gain absolutely nothing by, easing into the new year. If anything, you want to start the new year with momentum, start the new year with new habits, new things that you're doing to actually create the life that you desire. So, that's why we're still tapped in, where most people are taking their foot off the gas. Most people are relaxing. Most people are saying, you know what, look, I'll get started on it next year. We still passing goals. We still, sniping the markets. We still catching pips. We still getting money throughout the entire year. So with that being said, I definitely appreciate all y'all for tuning in today's episode of our weekly outlook. And with that being said, we're gonna dive straight into it. Last week was absolutely phenomenal. Before I even keep going, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear. Just type a $ in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Want to make sure we're all good before I keep going. GU went crazy. Yeah, for sure. GU did go crazy. And the thing is, that's not even the only pair that we killed last week. We actually had a few phenomenal trade setups that played out last week. And it just goes to show you that, when a lot of people say you can't trade in December, a lot of people say the market slowed down in December. We was actually able to catch over 300 pips only on 2 trade setups, all right? Or 500, excuse me. Over 500 pips on 2 different trade setups. So safe to say last week went phenomenal. We had people passing challenges. We got people getting payouts. We got people making money and, preparing themselves and, to have a phenomenal Christmas. And that's really what it's all about, to be able to come in and, help others as well as help yourself do what it is that you need to do to thrive, right? So before I actually, get the call started, I do just want to let it be known that we will be having, let me go ahead and drag it on this screen. I got more than one screen over here. Let me drag it on over. Just a second. All right. So with that being said, we do have a trading boot camp. All right. 3-day trading boot camp, December 19th through the 21st. And I'm super excited about this boot camp. This is actually one of the first ones I've done in a while, right? If you were part of my community in my previous company, we did boot camps every now and then. And now I just really want to get back to that boot camp energy where, we really going hard and giving you guys all the keys that you need to succeed. So with that said, that will be hosted December 19th through the 21st. All right. So with that being said, if you're a part of the community, you obviously have access to this absolutely free. But for all the people that are tuning in from the free Telegram chat, this 3-day boot camp will be $49.99. All right. And if you tune in, you get 1 free month, all right, of the Trade Genius community, where I go live 6 times a week, literally trade live with the team multiple times a week and educate on technical analysis, trade psychology, and things of that such. All right. So you're actually getting 2 for the price of 1. All right. So $50, you're going to get the trading boot camp. You're going to get the recording, and you're also going to be able to have 1 free month in the Trade Genius community. So be on the lookout for that link in the Wallstreet Ray free Telegram chat right after this call. All right. Now I'm super excited. I'm going to go over everything from, trading psychology to different strategies, what a strategy truly is, because a lot of people have a misconception on what a strategy is supposed to do for them. And I'm going to go super in depth, and I'm going to really open up your mind and open up your eyes to what trading really is on a professional level. Not a lot of people talk about these types of things. A lot of people tell you what to do, but I believe that you can learn a lot off of what not to do and what not to, how not to look at the markets in order to learn how you should. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over, obviously, the strategies that we've been using to crush the markets, the Hezi crossover technique, My ace entry technique which is how I was actually able to catch that phenomenal GU trade that a lot of you guys saw. And also a gold setup that caught us over 200 pips that I'm also going to be going over here in a moment. So you're going to get all of that, and you're also going to get the blueprint to get funded, right? The blueprint, the guarantee that you should be able to have over 6 figures in trading capital within the next few months. We get people funded every single week. Shout out to all the students. Shout out to everybody that's getting payouts, getting funded accounts that's already a part of the Trade Genius community. But I also want to give you guys that value as well, all right? So just wanted to point that out before we get everything rolling. Now that we got that situated, again, look for that link immediately after the call, all right? So we're going to dive into the actual charts. I'm going to take a couple minutes just to go over a couple of the trades that we took last week, and then we'll go into seeing if there's anything that we can actually capitalize off of this week, all right? So as you guys can see, GBP USD, this is actually a trade that was given out on a live trading call for FOMC last Wednesday, all right? So last Wednesday for FOMC, this is a trade setup that we actually took. As you can see, nice tight stops, huge profit potential, over 1 to 10 risk to award. I want you guys to understand, not too many people are giving out 1 to 10, 1 to 8, 1 to 15, especially not in a consistent basis, right? And when it comes to risk to award, these are the things that allow people to come in and, drastically improve their profit potential. Because, if you're profitable from a 1 to 2 perspective or a 1 to 3 risk to award perspective, you actually have to win a lot more just to be profitable. So it kind of puts a little more pressure on you in a sense. But when you can actually come out and take one trade that will account for over 10 losses, right? That makes trading so much easier, because you're not even going to really care what happens on the next trade, because all you need is 1 or 2 of these a week to end the week in great profits. All right. So with that being said, just a quick recap. Not going to spend too much time here because obviously, this is old news, but it is still applicable and you can still learn a lot from it, right? So looking over here to the left, we did have, make sure I check the chat. Got you. Gives you more time to do what you want to do rather than be on the charts all day. I couldn't agree more, Pluto, especially, we don't trade to be locked up on our charts all day. If you can hit one of those trades and it's a home run, you can go on about your day and let the money make money for you, all right? So looking over here to the left, obviously we have this sell that led into a buy, all right, that created new highs. So understanding that, I knew that this was an area of supply that I would be looking for the market to continue. All right. Looking at the higher time frame, this market has clearly been in an uptrend for quite a while. It's been in an uptrend since down here in October. So we have a couple months of bullishness of the market making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And you could see that the market structure and the order flow is actually bullish, right? So understanding that the market is making higher highs and higher lows, I was just looking for a higher low right here to take the market up and give us yet again another higher high, all right? So now in me understanding the market flow, now that's when I try to go down and look for areas of liquidity, look for areas of supply and demand, and look for areas that I can target, okay, as target liquidity as well, because you have liquidity that you enter from, but you also have liquidity where you target as well. So in understanding that, I tell my team all the time, I want you to look for the areas that are taking lows like this here, and then look for the areas that are creating highs, right? Weak highs. So understanding this low pushed lower than the previous one right there. So in my mind, that's actually a strong low, okay? When we have a low that takes a previous low, that is a characteristics of a strong low. And then when we have highs that are creating lesser highs or lower highs like this, where we have a high here, then the next one is a little lower, then the next one is a little lower, that's what we call a weak resistance liquidity pool, all right? So the reason why is because the market is rejecting, rejecting, rejecting. And all of the people that are getting short right here, they have their stop losses above this high. So really look at it like this. If you have money in your trading account, all right, you're actually not participating in the market until you press buy or sell. So when the market is moving in a direction, what they're doing is they're engineering liquidity because they're getting hundreds of thousands of people all over the world to actually participate in the market, right? So once all these people actually put their money into the market, there's an influx of money, aka liquidity, that comes into the market right here because everybody's selling right here. So in me understanding that, I know that that has to be a future target for the market to want to go attack for all the people that are shorting, right? Shorting right here, selling, selling, selling. All the people that are selling, we got to understand that there's a large pocket of money to the upside in which the market wants to actually go attack. All right. So with me understanding that and with me understanding the overall time frame, a higher time frame direction is bullish, what I was actually able to do is I was able to see that I have a strong low here, also have a weak low here. When I'm looking to get into trades, I look to get into buys in between strong lows and weak lows. So really remember that because that's sauce, right? When I look to get into buys, I look to get in between an area that has strong lows and an area that has a weak low. So this low is strong because it swept a previous low. This low is weak because it doesn't take anything out before it continues to the upside. So when the market comes underneath this area, I know that this area of demand is a lot more high quality than if it didn't have those characteristics. So now as we kind of come more into the current price action, what it was that I noticed is, okay, yes, we tapped into the shaded area, which is demand. However, when I look at this low, it doesn't have strong characteristics, right? You want to start to understand the body language that the charts are leaving behind. Obviously, the charts don't have letters and words on them, but if the charts could speak to you, right? If you could actually speak to the charts, what would it be telling you right here? It would be telling you, yes, we did reject, but we don't have a lot of strength behind this move. If you look, there's lots of small candlesticks. You don't have like an influx of volatility. You don't have any imbalance that you can re-enter off of. So all of that was telling me that this is a weak low. Now, if I like my zone, which is this shaded area that I'm inside of, if I like the demand zone, but I don't like the low that's inside of the demand zone, I will wait for that low to get taken out one more time before I take entries. So really understand what I'm saying. I trust the area, but I don't trust this low. I trust the overall area, but I don't trust this low. So what I decided to do was wait for that low to get taken out one more time, like I did right here. And our entry was at 2502. Okay. So this line right here is 2502. So once that area got hit, I decided to take buys and take it to clear highs, because if we're in a bullish uptrend, that means the market should go and break this previous set of highs that was left over here. And we already talked about the liquidity that was left behind over here as well. So this was a perfect entry, which gave us immediate profit. And that's one thing I want you guys to understand. As smart money traders, right, as people that utilize the techniques that I teach you guys, you should get instant reactions most of the time. If you're just waiting for a trade forever and ever, you're probably not in the right area. And let's just look at through the past, right? Let's look through the past. This low took the previous low. So that means it took liquidity. You get an immediate reaction. Within within an hour, you're in profit. Let's look up here, even on the lower time frame. Might be hard to understand, but if you know what candlestick analysis is, this right here, we take liquidity, you realize within the hour, you're in profit. You have more highs resting here. Once you take them out, you're in profit immediately, right? Down here, you take the lows, you're in profit immediately. take highs here. The market drops immediately, right? So the reason why this happens is because the market is doing something called mitigation. If the market is actually mitigating like you think it is, then you should get immediate responses, right, from the market. You should get immediate profit right away, right? You should not be waiting. You should not be in drawdown. You should not be, the market should not be playing around your entry for hours and hours, because if that's what you're doing, you're most likely trading in the wrong place, because, retail traders produce consolidation. We don't have the power to move the markets drastically by ourselves. So when we use the term trade with the banks, the reason why that term is often associated with smart money concepts is because if you're trading with the banks make the market move right away. All right. So I was just understanding that, as you can see, we got 285 pips out of this move, almost 200 and really like 290 if you got the entirety of the move. But let's just say 285, just under 300 pips on this one trade setup. So that set us up very nicely, to have have that bag, especially earlier in the week, because, I hate when it's Friday or Thursday and I'm still looking for that banger trade setup. So I was glad we was able to get that knocked out in the first half of the week. It made the rest of the trading week very, very smooth for us. All right. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit about gold. And guys, if you've been on my weekly Outlook calls, we called this out. We called this buyout because this buy was literally the same buy that I saw on GU. And now we got the sell. So I unfortunately missed this buy because I was already focused on GU. But I wish I would have caught that, because that one went for 700 pips, right? Like 300 is cool, but 700 is obviously way better, right? And, that's just, it happens sometimes. You don't catch every move. But let's go look back at it. Same concept. We take lows over here to the left, then we make significant higher highs. So that's how I knew the market would come right back to that point and, react and give us the rejection that we were looking for. So unfortunately, I did miss that buy, but then I was ready for the sell because I understood, the market can't just go up forever and ever, right? So just to show you guys proof that this was actually sent out, I'm just going to go over here to the Discord chat. All right. We come over to our trade ideas. And this was the before, right? As you can see, sent December 15th. All right. This was the before. Said the market would come up to 2042, right? 2042.5. All right. 2042.5. And then as we come over to the live charts, we see that exact same price point. 242.5 is right here, right? So just a tad lower from where I personally got in because I entered manually. But, if you guys set pending orders, whatever the case may be, obviously this was a banger trade setup. And let's really understand what happened, right? Let's truly, truly understand what happened. Market gave us equal highs. Then it came and took those highs out. So now we understand what side of the market is taking liquidity, which side is creating it. If the highs are taking highs, that means that more than likely they're going to be protected. Now I got lows that are creating weak lows. So now we have this trend line liquidity right here. And this is why we don't personally trade trend lines, right? They might work from time to time, but essentially what's happening is it's creating liquidity because a lot of people that trade support and resistance don't understand a trend line is just dynamic support and resistance. It's just, slanted support and resistance. So when I get a tap here, we almost get a tap right there. I understand that a lot of people are buying in these areas, right? And if 90% of traders do the wrong thing, then I want to actually look to exploit retail traders' analysis. I want to look for a reason to not trade with retail traders because most retail traders don't know what they're doing. So we want to look at the masses and do the opposite. So we see a trend line here. What I'm going to do is look a little closer where I actually saw a hezzy crossover, which is our signature move for our particular entries, right, that we like to use. We do have a hezzy crossover here, and then we actually start to retrace back into this area of supply. This area of supply was the last untested area of supply. So we look for these areas that have not yet been tested. We realize that this is a high that broke lows to make a new low. We broke a low right here. Then we made a new low. All right. In understanding that, the market should come back to this area before it drops again. We also had a little bit of imbalance in here as well. So a lot of things were lining up for this trade to work out in our favor. So when we came up here, we actually took this on a live call as well. All right. Literally got up at like 6:30 or something. We took this trade and then we watched the market drop together as a family. So this chart actually dropped, I want to say 220 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Well, a little bit more than that, actually. So I know I secured most of my bag at about 220 though. So, because I was satisfied with what I made this week. So with that being said, you see it's very simple concepts at the end of the day. When it comes to trading, it's not just about what happens, but it's also about where is it happening. You got to look for the right signals in the right areas, right? I could see a break of structure. I could see a low or a high being made. But if it doesn't happen in the proper area, that is not as valid if it happens in the right area, right? So those was two trade setups that we actually, got. And let me make sure I check the chat. I don't want to go too far without, communicating with y'all. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm just replying to the chat. Ray as a beast, join the community if you haven't already. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, definitely want to continue to grow the Trade Genius community. Going into 2024, I was actually talking to one of my friends. He's talking about doing a little tour, man, going across the country, because that's the type of stuff that I'm used to. Obviously, I come from a background of I was in the network marketing industry, but I was always a trader first, right? So I'm not somebody that just joins different companies and stuff like that, but I was always a trader first, and I literally traveled the country with my backpack and my laptop, obviously, clothes in a suitcase and all of that. But most of the time I was just trading and, pulling up on people with my laptop, showing them what to do. And I've been able to help people from all over the world with this skill set. So, I've been thinking about getting back into that mode. I got a daughter now. So just making sure everything's good at home. But we will be going on a little tour 2024 for sure. Taking a look at GU, what it is that we could see happening. That was obviously a little sell opportunity, but let's keep it pushing to see what it is that we could see happening this week. Obviously, we had a huge buy move. Now the market is dropping. I do believe that this market can drop more. All right. Just because there is so much, it did go bullish for so far. You got to anticipate that, you're going to get some sort of, steeper retracement. So although the market did drop a lot already, I am thinking of the possibility that we can retrace a bit and then continue to drop a little bit more. So I'm gonna just play around with a few different time frames until I find, a candle that really makes sense to me. All right. And there's no just one singular time frame that you use. You click through them all, right? Go to the 1 hour, go to the 5 minute, go to the 15. See if you see anything that really sticks out to you. So for me, here on the 5 minute, I do notice an area of demand. We hesitate off of it. Then we roll over to the downside. I'm curious to see if we can retrace up into this area here where we do have that buy to sell candle. It does appear that, nothing above us really needs to be rebalanced at this time. So I'm thinking of the possibility of us coming back up to this region right around here. I would say about the, 1.276, 1.276. And maybe we could actually get some sell continuations until the next buy is ready, right? I do believe that this is counter trend. So I'm not saying that this is going to, be the biggest sell ever, but I do believe that we could at least come down to about, 1.2605 or 1.2607 in this area, I would at least be looking for this little continuation right here. And then past that, anything past that will just be extra. But this is primarily the move that I'll be looking for on GU. Now, this is based off the lower time frame. Just make sure you are looking at the right thing. Make sure you do have enough confirmation for this particular setup. So for me, it looks decent for me, primarily because we do have our hezi. I'm not going to go all the way in depth with that technique just because, there are people that paid for that information. So just out of respect for them, I'm pretty sure my course students see what I see. But just with that being said, I'm going to kind of, at least leave some meat on the bone there so we don't just give out every single thing that we do. Obviously, if we look a little bit higher, all right, just lower time frame analysis as well. Area of demand, hezi up there. There is the possibility for that as well for our 1 minute crossover opportunity up here as well. All right. So just with that being said, and here's the other thing, guys, you can take more than one trade. Don't let nobody fool you into thinking that it has to be one or done, right? Again, if I'm taking trades that have 1 to 10, 1 to 15 risk to reward, I can afford to take a loss or two. I could afford to take more losses than that. So I'm not going to just take one trade and be done if that one trade doesn't win, right? I have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, because I already know that all I need is one trade to set me up for a while, right? With the way that we trade, we don't need much. All we need is the right trade. And, we're going to be floating in profit for a while. So this might be my first option, but if the market wants to come a little bit higher, then I'm open to taking another trade opportunity up here at about 2782, right? So 1.2782, I'll be looking for another opportunity. I actually hope it goes up there because I actually get a tighter stop loss than if it doesn't go all the way up there. Up there, I could go with like a 9 pip stop. And if I have the same target as before, I could go for about 175 pips, which gives me almost 1 to 20. So that's a 1 to 19 risk to reward type of trade setup. All right. So, if we get that, we're gonna be good. That's the walk-off home run at the end of the game, both bases loaded type of trade. You know what I'm saying? That's a 3-point, shot at the buzzer, go ahead three, whatever you want to call it. That's a Hail Mary, whatever, right? But when you get those types of trades, man, you have to take it. You have to push the button, because the way that I look at it is, even if I lose here, I can lose 18 times. I can be right once, and I can still potentially make money. When you got those types of odds in your favor, guys, what are you afraid of? Seriously, what are you afraid of when you have these types of odds in your favor? And this changes the whole dynamic of trading. This changes your whole relationship with the charts, because you've been taught all of our lives, and I'm not going to go too deep in my bag because this is something I want to talk about for my boot camp as well. So, but just to give you guys a glimpse, we've been taught our entire lives, and not just our lives, but in human history, right? You got to realize people have been on Earth for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds, thousands of years, right? And what you got to understand is we have all this modern day technology recently, right? Where we can get immediate outcomes to things and stuff like that. And our brains are not actually wired to think long term into the future, right? As human beings, our brains are not wired that way. And it's been that way since the beginning of time. You had to go out, you had to eat, you had to kill something, had to go hunt. You had to do all these things to ensure your survival for today, right? But trading is not about today. Trading is about long term. Trading is about the next 20, 30, 50 trades. And most people aren't wired to think this way because, you see people on Instagram flexing their profits. You see people doing this and that. You want to live that lifestyle right away. But I'm here to tell you guys, if you can honestly fall in love with the concept of like, I don't care what happens next, I'm going to make sure I take 30 trades exactly the same, perfect execution, perfect entries, perfect exits, etc. You will be profitable. I absolutely guarantee it, because that's the way numbers work. The law of large numbers is going to protect you. And this is what I mean by the law of large numbers. I'll give you guys a quick example and then I'll keep going. If we look at one person, one individual person, and you say, what age is this one person going to live to? You can't know that. Nobody can know that information, right? Like me, for example, if I say I'm going to live to 80 years old, nobody knows that for certain, right? But when you take a large collection of people, say you take the state of Texas, or let's take the entire US population, for example, and we say, all right, what's the average life expectancy of the entire population? That's where we get the age 78 from, right? So you can't know what's going to happen on a case by case basis, but you can get a good indication what's going to happen once you put more data and more people and more numbers involved in that system, right? And whatever question that you're asking. This is why, you have the average GPA of a school or a school district versus the average GPA of one student. You don't know that information because it's different for each person. So I hope that analogy is making sense. You can't determine the outcome of one singular event. You can determine the outcome of events with more precision the more data that you pump into it. All right. So this is why I tell you guys, who cares about one trade? One trade, like I can give my phone to my little sister. She's never traded a day in her life. She can push buy or sell and she might win. That doesn't mean she's a profitable trader. The way you know you're profitable is, can you take 30, 40, 50 trades exactly the same and come out profitable? That's how you know. All right. So the name of the game is to actually come in, gather more information and play the long game, right? So I hope that makes sense. All right. Now let's keep it going. Nas 100, right? Y'all know I love Nas. It's like sometimes it has a million moves, and then other times it's like I can't really do much with it, right? What I mean by that is obviously we took buys down here. This was also given in the community. For the sake of time, I'm not gonna, go back and pull it up, but this was actually given in the community. And the market just goes bullish, right? But it's like if you don't catch it down here, sometimes it could be hard to catch re-entries. And that's my only beef with Nas, man. Like, I have yet to be able to like comfortably take these super shallow entries like this, because I'm used to the market retracing before I get into an entry. But, indices in general, they have these super shallow retracements and they can continue. And, I love Nas. Like, I love trading Nas, but I feel like I'm more of a reversal trader more so than a continuation trader, because I catch the big pivots in the market versus these shallow ones, right? But with that being said, it is what it is. Now that the market has popped way up there, if I'm not mistaken, I believe these are all-time highs, or not quite yet, almost all-time highs, all right? So we have to pay attention to this level over here, obviously. Paying attention to the 16,770 price range. Make sure you check your broker, because it could be different based off the broker that you're using. Just seeing how the market is coming incredibly close to that high. I'm curious to see if it'll break, but there is a couple opportunities that we have here. This is a high right here. This is a high right here. Maybe there's a little liquidity pocket right there that we can play inside of, which the market actually already whipped. All right. So I'm actually curious to see if the market will break new highs altogether, or if it wants to give us a rejection from here. Because if those previous highs don't want to break, then we'll probably get a nice drop off from here. It just kind of depends what the market wants to do. Like I said, you don't have to be right every time. Let's just play our game. And you don't have to win each battle, but you can still win the war. And that's the approach that I have with trading. So obviously, we're in this specific zone right here between these two black lines. The market does slightly, take a previous high right here. So this high does slightly pop up above this one. So we can't ignore that. There is the likelihood of us going bearish because of that. Again, I'm going to keep my options open, right? I do believe that we can drop from here, but I would not be surprised to see if we can come up a little higher and then drop, right? If we come up to like 16,800, I definitely believe that we'll get a drop from somewhere above this high because those are all-time highs, right? And just understanding how profit taking happens, they say buy low, sell high. So when you're in an area of all-time highs, right, this is uncharted territory. You don't really want to be in trades in uncharted territory. I'm gonna be honest, right? Obviously, you could buy and hold certain things. Obviously, for my crypto traders, we're praying for all-time highs, right? But at the same time, as a day trader, not just an investor, but as a day trader, there's two different things. As a day trader, I don't really want to be in uncharted territory. As an investor, sure thing. Make highs, hold it long term, whatever the case may be. But as somebody that's looking to make profit every day or at least every other day, I don't want to be in uncharted territory. So I'm gonna take an attempt at sales this week, right around here. But I am open to the possibility of us coming, breaking all-time highs, and then dropping from up there as well. However, whatever happens, I do believe we will get a drop of some sort. How big will the drop be? That is yet to be determined. I mean, with all the stuff going on in the world, it ain't no telling what's gonna happen, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's every day is something else. I actually saw something. I'm surprised it's not getting more media coverage, but I actually saw something about data hackers in China are like tapping into our power grid, tapping into our water supply technology, and all this type of stuff. And it's almost like leave the world behind type stuff. I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but it's kind of crazy. Like, it should be getting more media coverage. I actually saw this on like TikTok or something. And they're talking about all the stuff that's going on. So obviously I hope 2024 is a nice, smooth selling year. Us traders, regardless, as long as we have internet, we're gonna be good. We can capitalize off of, unfortunate events and positive events as well. So just make sure you're prepared for whatever fireworks might be awaiting. But again, all-time highs it is a area where I would be eyeballing, right? So now we got that understood. Let's just come to a lower time frame, see if we see anything interesting here. What broker do I recommend? I recommend Sway Charts. Sway Charts. As a broker, obviously, they lost their MetaQuotes license, which is not fun, I'm gonna be honest. But just so far as transparency, I've talked to the owner. He seems like a straight up dude. And I can respect the fact that he's at the very least regulated in Australia, right? A lot of people say, oh, well, they're not regulated in the States. That doesn't mean that they're going to treat US clients differently than all their other clients. It's just the fact that they are regulated at all. That's a huge plus, because in order to get regulated in a large market, whether it's Japan, whether it's Australia, whether it's Europe or something like that, in order to be regulated, you have to do business with a certain level of ethics. So just because they're not regulated in the US doesn't mean that they're not doing good business. They just do that so that way, you can have higher leverage, because if you have US regulations, your leverage is like 1 to 50, and you can't do nothing with that unless you got $100,000+ in your account. So far as that, that's what I like. Other than that, I'm just on prop firm accounts right now. All right. So, but it is, some changes have to be made. We're at the beginning of something that could be very innovative. I personally have been on MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, just MetaTrader platform, period. I've been on it for so long. I can definitely understand the frustration because, I have muscle memory with MetaTrader. Like, I can close a trade, I can modify a trade without even looking at it. Like that's how many times I've used MetaTrader. So as you probably could tell, I wasn't necessarily thrilled to see all these brokers losing their meta quotes license. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do. So, we just go adapt and move from there. So, no need to complain about it forever. It's just either you adapt or you die. But if you want to keep using MetaTrader, I've been using prop firm accounts as of recently. So that's that. I might just move to Dubai or something, so I ain't got to deal with this problem. But curious to see what'll happen here. Nas, I think the market can come up here, but I don't trust this area. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust this because we react here, but we leave equal highs behind. So I would say that this high is a false sell. I think that we'll come and take that out and then drop. All right. And if we don't drop from there, obviously, you know what my other analysis is, to come clear those highs and then we'll potentially get another drop. All right. So, GU and Nas, I'm looking pretty bearish, for the moment. Gold, I think gold can continue as well. We do have a lot of imbalance to fill in down here. Truth be told, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to drop and makes a new low just based off of the higher time frame where we push up into this imbalance, where we have a breaker block over here, all right, where we start the buy to sell, but you see how the buying starts over here, all right, and then we kind of overlay this imbalance right here. And now the market comes back into that area. I would not be surprised if gold wants to continue to drop to actually make a low lower than this area. So keep your eyes open for that. We should, retrace before we take any sales, obviously. I would like to see us retrace a bit. Where we may retrace to, obviously the higher the better. We can get up above this area. I will feel very good about it. But there are those times where you have those very shallow retracements. I don't like those that much, but that is a possibility. I personally will be hoping for a little bit higher retracement. We can get up to like 2040. That would be great because I can then take a trade out of, this candle up here. It is a long wick, but understand on like the 1 minute or even underneath that, it's just a buy to sell candle at the end of the day. The buy to sell swept liquidity. So this candle specifically, and we have a hezi, if you guys see it, community students, I'm sure you see it. This is also a hezi, right? When we clear highs and we make new lows, and nothing yet has come back in to test this area. So obviously, it's not like I'm taking the easy way out just by picking the highest candle, but it is the candle that makes the most sense because here we just have, in my opinion, weak highs, right? This just looks like built up liquidity that the market wants to come back and clear and then continue bearish. So, and then the lows look like they're forming pretty weak as well. So we probably got some liquidity building down here. For when we do get into sales, we have a reason to go lower now. Because when I take sales, I want to see a pocket of money down below it that I can target. All right. So looking at that for sure. So pretty much bearish on GU, NAS, and gold. All right. GU, NAS, and gold. EuroCAD, not really interested, to be honest. Just going through my favorites. I'm so mad I missed that sale. I was ready for it too, man. I'm so mad I missed that sale. That would have been a banger. Not really interested in GCAD either. I could just see it going a lot lower personally. probably to take out these lows down here. But we just need an opportunity, right? Like I can know what direction the market's going, but if I don't have a re-entry opportunity, if the market isn't retracing, there's nothing that I could do, right? But I would be targeting this low now. We did break these lows. We didn't get no real reaction. So now at this point, I'll be looking a lot lower for a GBP CAD, right? Which makes sense because I am bearish on GU. So maybe we get more GBP CAD weakness, some Euro CAD weakness, USD CAD. I actually talked about this last week. I took it here and it came a little bit higher. So I was kind of pissed about that. But ultimately the move still played out. I just got a little bit premature. I got in a little premature. That's the only thing. But we still see that they respected that high. Wish I would have caught it up there. That would have been obviously a much, much, much better trade. See what the risk reward would have been on that. I just wasn't paying attention because I don't trade UCAD much, but that would have been an absolute banger for sure. So good though. So those are my favorites, right? I'm doing my best to not pay attention to too many pairs because sometimes my mind can get a little convoluted. So that's kind of my approach moving forward. I'm gonna have my starting lineup, which essentially is like GU and Nas. I want to wiggle gold in there a little bit more, but I did hear gold is gonna you're gonna have problems trading gold in the near future. So we'll see what goes on with that. I think gold is supposed to go to 1-to-1 leverage or something crazy, right? So if there's any truth to that, trading gold is not going to be much fun whatsoever. So maybe I trade it more in the future, maybe not. Outside of that, I'm really heavy on GU and Nas. And the other pairs are my second lineup, like my second string players. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, guys, I'm curious to know what it is that you guys want me to take a look at, because now that I've went over my personal favorite pairs, I'm kind of at a mode now where it's anything outside of that, I might trade it, I might not. But is there anything that you guys want me to take a look at just before we keep moving? We've been on here for about an hour, so we got some good value and stuff. But I'm just curious to see what you guys want. AUD, NZD, I'm going to be honest, I do not trade that at all. There's no reason to trade it. They're very close correlated pairs. So it's whatever is happening in Australia is likely happening in New Zealand. So if you trade those pairs, they're going to be fighting against each other. And they're both pretty much the same pair. I don't trade that. I'm going to be honest. All-time lows. Okay, that's interesting. Euro CHF is about to hit all-time lows. Okay. Just taking a look at the next setup you sent. Yeah, I would probably look for that to get hit. All-time lows, and I mean you could take a buy just because, truth be told, you could take a buy just because you're in uncharted territory. I would say it's probably gonna drop one more time because let's really think about this for a sec. if it's ready to take off from all-time lows, the price action isn't going to look like this, right? The price action should be a lot more volatile if it's taking liquidity from a point of all-time lows. So I will wait for it to push down one more time, and then I would just take a buy and just see how far it goes, truth be told. Um, this is not really a trade that I have a take profit in mind or anything like that. That's just something that you buy and you want to see. Is there a chance that it comes and takes out all of this, all of this liquidity that's been resting above it for so long, but yeah, that has the potential to be a very like long time type of reversal. All right. I don't trade Euro GBP either, so not really gonna spend too much time there. No, somebody asked for AUD and ZD. I'm gonna pull it up just for the sake of, you know, helping out. But I personally don't recommend this pair whatsoever. But you can take a look at it. Let's see. All right, so we got consolidation. We sweep lows. We're attempting to make new ones. We got trend line liquidity forming right here. All right. So if I had to guess, I would not guess, but if I had to make my prediction, I would say that is going to continue lower. All right. I do believe that this pair will continue lower. This high took liquidity. Ever since then, we have seen supply sort of be in control. Supply and control. I believe the market will probably react off of here, either from this gray shaded area or possibly from this one if it wants to go a little higher. But I do believe that the market will drop. Take out that trend line liquidity. And then once we get underneath there, I'll be curious to see what it does. Market's starting to consolidate a little bit. So, yeah, that's what I would probably be looking for. But again, I don't really trade AUD and ZD at all. But if I were to trade that pair, that's probably what I would be looking for. Just take a quick little glance, see if I'm missing anything else. And then we could call it a day. All right, family. See if I'm missing anything. UA retraced all the way back. I wanted to take a buy down here, but that was before we got that big move. Now that we got that big move, I'm not that confident in the buy. So I'll probably pass on that as well. Just about picking your battles wisely, guys. That's all it is. You don't have to take every trade opportunity you see. It's about taking the right trade opportunities, all right? So yeah, overall, I feel like we did our due diligence. We see what it is that we need to see. Um, I did, we got our trade set up on GU. We got our setup potential on Nas. And we got set up on gold. So I feel like that's gonna be how I pretty much start this week. Maybe USD CHF wants to go bullish. I marked this up and never took it because this is just another pair that I never checked, unfortunately. But I did mark that buy up. I just, I don't trade these pairs. I just mark them up for practice, really. And then, like, by the time I come back and check it, the chart did exactly what I said it would do, but I'm not in it, so it don't even matter. So, USD CAD. As long as it's 1 to 5, I'll take it. I do believe that this will happen on USD CAD. So that's 4 setups for you. So take whichever ones you like. I think we could take buys at USD CAD at like 1.3358. If you just want a round number and you don't mind sacrificing a couple pips, just take it at 1.336. Take it at 1.336. That'll just give you a nice round number. So you ain't got to do too much calculating and stuff like that. Yeah, 1.336. Let's see what happens from there. All right. I go a little higher to get you 1 to 5 now, but that's okay. Risking 9, let's just say risking 10 to catch 50. All right, at least. It could be a bigger reversal than that, but that's just will be where I take my first profit and then just let the rest run and see how far it can go. All right. Yeah, this call will be posted. Last week I ran into some technical issues. I had to take my computer in just because it was running real slow. But we all good to go now. This call will definitely be uploaded momentarily after the call. I gotta do a couple things to it, add a couple things to it. Because if you guys already follow my YouTube, I got the intro and the outro or the intros and all of that. And then I'll just make sure it's chopped up properly and got the thumbnail created. Then once it downloads, I'll upload it. So, sometimes it could take an hour or so just because the calls are kind of long. But yes, this will be uploaded. Do I trade Sundays and Mondays? Yeah, I trade any day the market is open. They tell you not to trade as a safety net, right? Like it's a precautionary thing. It's not that you can't trade on Sunday. It's just wise if you're new to trading not to. It's like, your parents tell you not to cross the street because you might be kind of clumsy, like, or you might be, you kind of young or whatever. Don't talk to strangers because it's dangerous. You might get taken advantage of or whatever. But the older you get, you realize you kind of have to do all these things. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that's how trading is, in my opinion. They tell you not to do it to protect you. But once you have experience, and you're a little older, you have experience, you know what you're doing, you can do all of those things because you know how to do it safely now. And that's kind of what trading is. They tell you not to protect you, but once you know what you're doing, you can do it. So yeah, that's what I got, family. Once again, just as a quick reminder, be on the lookout for y'all hear that girl in the background making all this noise? I got my daughter over here with me. She's making all these weird noises. But don't forget, guys, 3-day trading boot camp from the 19th to the 21st. Obviously I gave you guys these setups, but I'm not gonna be like beating myself up, trying to take the trades this week because the week before Christmas, things do slow down. Like obviously you can make money in December, but things do slow down. When financial advisors, hedge funds, institutions, etc., when they get up from their trading desk and go on vacation and stuff, it's not as much volatility, right? So, I'll be lying to you guys to say that we should expect that much volatility this week. I'm just being completely honest. So I want my primary focus to be this trading boot camp, December 19th through the 21st. If you're in the free Telegram, make sure you guys join. So that way you can have access to this. All right. I'm gonna drop the link in there. All right. Again, the cost will be $49.99, but you will get the recording and you will also get a free month in the Trade Genius community where I go live 6 times a week. I trade live 5 days a week and I do an educational call. You have access to me. You can ask me questions. We could drop charts. We can communicate. And you have a number of other people in there that's doing the same. So if you guys want that, definitely be sure to tune in. All right. I'm going to drop the link in the Wallstreet Ray Telegram chat. So what I'll do here is I will get this link. If I could find the link, hold on. Oops. Hold on. Here we go. All right, so I got the link copied. I just sent it in. I'm about to send it in the chat right now. All right, because I know some of you guys may have got, sent this link from somebody else. So for everybody that's not a part of that group chat, be sure to go ahead and hit the link that I just dropped into the Zoom chat. All right, I'm gonna drop the link for the boot camp momentarily. Again, remember you will get access to the recording. You'll also get access to my Trade Genius community where we go live 6 times a week. And you'll be able to trade alongside with me and take a lot of these trade setups that we all capitalize off of hand in hand with me. And not a lot of educators do that. A lot of people tell you what to do, but they don't tell you how to do it. And they damn sure don't trade live with you, right? So with that being said, one more thing. If you guys want the full A to Z comprehensive course, all right, because the community is one thing, but the course is where you can go at your own pace. Maybe you can't get up for London session. Maybe you can't get up for New York session. Maybe you're busy at those times. That's where I recommend tradegeniusacademy.co, not .com. There's no M, just .co. That's where you get access to my course. All right, guys, to my course. I'll probably be doing a holiday special here pretty soon. So just get the link and, be checking my social media, be checking the free Telegram chat, and I'll let you guys get a update on the Christmas promo. So you can have the promo code. I'll knock off $300 for you guys if you want to go ahead and lock in with the Trade Genius Academy course. I literally had one of my students from Australia reach out to me, and he told me that his entire trading game has changed since he joined the course, right? And the thing is, he wasn't even a part of the community yet. He was reaching out to me because he wanted to join the community, but he was just a course student. So that means he's never even been on a live Zoom with me. He's never taken a signal from me, and he's already profitable strictly off the information given in the course where you can trade at your own pace. So not only do I want to give you guys setups and trade with y'all, I want you guys to be self-sufficient. And that's what the course teaches you how to do. All right. So other than that, guys, that's all that I have personally. If we have any other comments, questions, or concerns, I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to ask questions in the chat or raise your hand if you want to be unmuted. Other than that, we can end the call for the day. All right. So let me know if you guys have some questions. All right. No problem. No problem. No problem. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Be sure to follow me on the gram as well. You guys got value from this call. Just take a screenshot and post it. Take a screenshot, post it, tag me. I'll repost you guys. Let's show the world that we are actually out here trading. We actually out here helping people. You guys got some value from this call. Take a screenshot of your screen, post it on the gram, tag me. I'll repost you. I want to let the world know what it is that we got going on here. 2024 is going to be a huge year. I'm going to the FX Summit. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there in Dubai. We could trade live in person. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man. See you guys at the top, from the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. See you guys on the other side. Much love. Peace.